Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Saturday, October 29, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Los Angeles Rams vs San Francisco 49ers. These teams have been polar opposites as far as profitability is concerned since last season. San Francisco has covered the spread in 13 of its last 19 games, while Los Angeles has only covered twice in its last 8 contests. The 49ers have also been a nightmare matchup for the Rams, covering the spread in 6 consecutive meetings. They are going to have a large contingent of fans traveling to this game as usual, which negates the Rams' home field advantage. Los Angeles is dealing with too many injury issues and turnover problems right now, while San Francisco is only going to improve with McCaffrey in the mix. Our team pick is San Francisco minus 1.5 points. These teams have hit a ton of unders this year as both offenses have struggled. This game is expected to be very close due to the importance of division seeding. This is also the final matchup between these two contenders this regular season. I think we will see a defensive show in this one. Neither Stafford nor Garoppolo have been big play quarterbacks this season. We'll see a lot of dink and dunk, and I think the 49ers especially are going to make an emphasis on the run game. The Rams could not figure out the 49ers defense the first time they played, only managing 9 points. I predict a lot of the same here as the running game and offensive line play have not gotten any better. Take the under 42.5 with confidence this weekend. Indianapolis Colts vs Washington Commanders. Indianapolis opened as a 6-point favorite, but the early betting action has driven this line down by 3 key points. I am happy to back the Colts at this price, as they still have more options than Washington offensively and have the better defense. Taylor missed 2 games with an injury before returning last week. He should be healthier this week, and I am not worried about Washington's offense doing much damage. The Colts should be able to control the tempo of this game, and they are playing at home, where they have won 8 of their last 10 games against Washington. Our team pick is Colts minus 3 points. Ehlinger is making his starting debut with the Colts on Sunday. He is a very athletic quarterback who proved his ability for the Longhorns. The Colts have a bad offensive line, so having a quarterback that can move in the pocket like Ehlinger will be an asset to the Indianapolis offense. The Colts also have a top-tier running back with Taylor, so expect him to be an option to take pressure from the young quarterback. Taylor will absolutely be able to break down the Washington defensive line, as they allow over 100 rushing yards per game. The Commanders have Heineke, Gibson, and Robinson Jr., who will be 3 key offensive players. The Colts have a bad rush defense, so expect the running game to be dominant for Washington. Heineke can scramble well and is decent when it comes to completing passes out of the pocket or under pressure. This ability will help the Commanders get downfield and put points on the board. Both teams will get into the red zone and get points on the board, but Washington will ultimately walk away with a win. Take the over, 39.5 points. Seattle Seahawks vs New York Giants. Call it luck or call it grit, the Giants are finding ways to win and finding ideal times to play teams. This week, they likely battle a Seattle team that is missing star wideout DK Metcalf and has a banged-up offensive line. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are a bottom 5 team in the league against the run and will be facing Barkley and the Giants' second-ranked rushing attack. New York has some injuries as well, but they have seemingly embraced the next man up approach this season. And, while the Giants lack the star power at wide receiver that the Seahawks have, they have gotten quality play out of the likes of Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. This one may very well come down to a battle of Big Ten running backs, as Penn State alum Barkley battles MSU alum Walker 3. In a game with 2 good ground attacks, banged up offensive lines and a depleted wide receiver group, I'm going to lean on the team that has found a way to win in countless close games this season. Take the Giants and the points, +3. Seattle is leading the NFC West, but that division is very mediocre this season, and the Seahawks must improve their defense. Seattle is 29th in overall defense, allowing an average of 399.1 yards per game, which includes 149.7 yards rushing and 249.4 yards passing per game. The Seahawks allow an average of 26.6 points, which is 28th. Seattle's leading tackler is linebacker Jordan Brooks with 73. 3 players for Seattle each have 3 quarterback sacks, and as a team, the Seahawks have 17. Cornerback Tarek Woolen has 4 of Seattle's 5 interceptions. As mentioned earlier, Seattle is scoring an average of 26.1 points per game, which is 5th, and at the same time the Seahawks have a weak defense that is allowing an average of 26.6 points per game, which is 28th. The total has finished over in 4 out of the last 5 games played by Seattle. Seattle will use its running attack to open up its passing game, which will result in the Seahawks scoring plenty of points against the New York defense. Take the over, 46.5 points. Buffalo Bills vs Green Bay Packers. The Bills have every advantage in this one, not the least of which is they are coming off a bye week, so they had a week to rest and didn't have to travel. They also have the advantage of just being a much better team. I have no faith in the Packers' ability to move the ball against a Bills defense that is number 1 overall and number 1 against the run. They will make Rodgers throw the ball, and in years past that was always something teams wanted to avoid, but Rodgers is not the same Aaron Rodgers, and he won't be able to do it successfully. But the Packers' defense will keep this close enough to cover. Take the Packers here getting the points. Green Bay +11 points. The Packers are struggling after a road loss to a bad Washington was their 3rd loss in a row. Green Bay started the season off with a loss to Minnesota, but the team followed that loss with 3 impressive victories against Chicago, New England, and Tampa Bay. Since Green Bay's victory against the Bucs team has struggled, losing 3 straight games coming into this matchup. Both of the Packers' last 2 losses were also one-sided games, with Green Bay getting blown out by the Jets at home before Washington beat them last week. Even though the final score was 23-21, Washington controlled nearly the entire game against the Packers. The Bills rank number 1 in total offense, averaging 440.8 yards per game, and Buffalo ranks number in overall defense as well, giving up 281.5 yards per game. The addition of Von Miller has significantly improved the overall Bills defense, which was solid last year. Buffalo has been the top defense in the league despite playing without key starter safety Jordan Poyer and other starters for several games. The Bills should also be healthier coming off the bye this week. Even though the Bills have the best defense in the league, Buffalo will likely be out of rhythm to start the game since this team is coming off a bye week. Green Bay's defense has been inconsistent, but the Packers also do have talent in the secondary. The Bills' offense should be fine, but this unit will likely take some time to get going. Green Bay's offense has also struggled all year as well, and the Packers have had no ability to hit big plays down the field with Adams gone. Rodgers is still trying to figure things out with Dobbs and Lazard, and the Packers are not stretching the field at all. The Packers will want to run the ball to take pressure off their offensive line and passing game, but Buffalo comes into this game with a top-ranked defense, and the Bills should be healthier on defense, where the teams have been missing some starters because of the bye. Take the under, 47.5 points.